Hello, I'm Jake. Welcome to Jake's Beer Roulette, and it's a very warm welcome to Fuller's 2025 Vintage Ale. This is the first time I've had Fuller's Vintage Ale. I've seen it over the last couple of years. People on YouTube reviewing how lovely they think it is. Basically, Fuller's release this every year. We release a different vintage every year. You can go on their website and get it, or you can get it in Waitrose. I don't know if there's any left now because it is limited edition. This is bottle 31,765. That's not too limited edition. It's something you don't often see me talking about because it is an expensive beer. It is around about £7, £7.50 a bottle. Fuller's, the brewery, are the ones who make London Pride, which is always an excellent beer. And ESB, which is also an excellent beer. I don't drink enough of their beers, to be honest, because I stick with like the budgety stuff. This is bottle conditioned, so there will be sediment in there, meaning that my smallish glass, I'm going to have to make room for the end of this bottle. So whatever flavours, whatever I get up front here is only going to get more intense when I top it up. But what you get is an absolutely beautiful chestnut coloured beer. I've never any idea how this is coming across on the camera. It's carbonated, so there is a little bit of carbonation in there. It isn't flat. It does remind me a little bit of their other beers, but in the sense it's not hanging on to head. This is 8.4%, so it is a heavy hitter. Let's see what the aroma is telling me. Oh my word! Where'd you begin with that? Now again, I think if you've seen the last video, I've had a touch of allergy, which I think is COVID over the last week's been horrible. But my senses are overwhelmed by, there's like dark fruit, there's like glacy cherries, there is the smell of that stodgy Christmas cake. But you've also got some zest in there. There's certainly some orange in there. There's some lemon. My oh my, there's even a little bit of spice. And the one that I picked up, I'm not sure anyone else has said this, but I got a touch of vanilla as well, that kind of thing. I mean, that just smells like, there's no way I can put it across. It's like nothing else I've ever smelt in a beer glass, in the sense that it's the nicest. That's the most appetizing smelling beer that I've ever smelt. Now, the thing is, I've seen other people review this, so immediately there's going to be some subconscious bias. I want it to be good. There are other beers I really like, but I think sometimes people get a bit over the top about them. Like London Pride's a very good beer. But I've seen people absolutely waxing lyrical about it, saying it's the best thing they've ever had. This may be the best thing I've ever had. So this is Fuller's Vintage Ale, 8.4%. I really hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and here's to your good health. So it's boozy. The 8.4% is very much in play here. When you get like double IPAs, things like that these days, sometimes they hide the booze. This doesn't. This is making a real statement. It is the overwhelming flavour that's coming across for me in a really good way up front is kind of like an oaky, nutty flavour with a piney, boozy edge to it. Um, oh, oh my word, that's heaven. That is unbelievably good. Times that I've seen other people talking about this, so I'm getting that nutty, oaky kind of flavour. There's a tiny bit of licorice. It's a symphony. So it's like, sorry for being so over the top with the hyperbole, but it's, and it does. I mean, again, I've heard nobody say this, but the back end of it, the finish to it, is like some of the nicest West Coast IPAs I've had. They're really high end, high quality, but I mean, it's not a million miles away from being a Westie, to be honest. Although obviously this has been around longer, so it's not them in any way copying it. Um, but it is like that. Oh my god, it's utterly sensational. Now I'm starting to get flavors, and the thing is, it is a bit cold, so I think this does need to warm up a little bit in the glass. So I'm getting some flavors of that Christmas cake, some a little bit of spiciness, the kind of like uh, words. I don't know what else to say other than if that's not the best beer I've ever had, it could well be in the top one. It could well be the best beer I've ever drunk in my life, and I've been lucky enough to drink some wonderful beers since I commenced this journey. However, every other reviewer that I've seen talking about Fuller's Vintage Ale and how much they look forward to it coming out every year, they're all spot on. And if anything, they play it down because this has taken me way too long to get hold of. There's other years you can get from their website. You can get their kind of like 2023 version, I think, and stuff. I didn't, but I got a couple of beers of theirs, so I may put another review up of one or t'other of them, or both, depending on how Christmas goes. But that is, no surprises. It's a 10 out of 10 beer. It is worth every single penny. If you get the chance to get a hold of Fuller's Vintage Ale, if you enjoy beer, you must. It's so good. It is so good. I just can't see anything coming close to that. And I've got some brilliant beers, I think, to post on here the next week or so, and I will. But this one, Fuller's Vintage. I mean, I've still got some of it left, and this is the part of it that it won't be as strong in flavour as that. I may pause this and come back and do a little postscript when I pour the rest of this in. So I'll see you in a minute. The postscript. So I enjoyed the first two-thirds of this bottle of beer immensely, as I'm sure you can tell. What's worth pointing out is that like I may have mentioned that I haven't been feeling well the last week or so. Um, how that beer made me feel. It's We don't often talk about the effect of the alcohol kicking in, and making you drunk. That's like floating on air. I mean, it's stunning. It's a stunning beer. We've got the bottom part of the bottle, which is, yeah, that is murky by comparison. The one thing that came across when the beer warmed up a bit and had chance to air was like a smoky flavour. And I read the blurb on the box, and I was really pleased that it covered quite a bit of what I picked up. Dark fruits. It also said molasses, but it said lemon. It said pretty much everything. So, but I mean, just go and find out for yourselves. Honestly, Google it. It's sensational. Let's find out what the bottom, well, maybe quarter of this beer is is tasting like. I think it's going to be intense. Oh yeah, yeah, that's amped up again. Oh, I cannot stress how good this beer is. It is. You can see this is the first beer of Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and I am absolutely in love with this stuff. Um, Clearly, I'll be getting it next year. Clearly, this is going to be an annual thing on this channel as long as I keep it going. I understand like other guys who review beers on the net on YouTube talk about this one in such esteem. It's astonishing. Um, and it's the kind of beer that, whilst I've paid like 7 or 8 quid for it, you know, a heartfelt thank you needs to be delivered to the makers of this, because that is it's why I like enjoy beer, is to find stuff and to be blessed with a beer like that on Christmas Eve. Well, well, well. Look, have an amazing Christmas. There'll be a fair few reviews going up over the next week or two. Um, Hopefully, you'll find something in there to inspire you to go out and try something new. Here's to your good health, your family's good health, and your friends' good health. And roll on 2026, eh? Cheers.